Out here fishing for a couple hours, going for the evening bite, trying to keep it realistic with my son. So far we're getting skunked. Water's super warm. We tried throwing deep earlier, now we're trying to throw shallow, but it's starting to cool down, so maybe they're deep now. I just got a good bite fishing that D5 by 13 with the, ooh, boom, got one. What do you know? Hey, Nolan. Got one.
What? What happened?
Feisty.
Caught the smallest fish out the pond. I'm tying on a spinner bait for my bait caster. I'm gonna throw it out right now.
Hold, grab my camera. Boom. Got me a lunker. 20-pound bass right here. It's the first fish of the day. I'll let my son hold it. Boom. Boom, dude, look at that monster.
Big lunkers.
I caught that on a shad color Cinco right there.
You
Let
wanna
him go,
release him?
kid. Let him go. Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
What's going on YouTube? Drama D here. Just here with my weekly update. Just finishing up some tests for the week. Just a heads up, over the last 2 weeks, my alkalinity has crept up over 1 full DKH point over 2 week time, which isn't bad, but I'd like to bring it back down. I did increase my dosing to 5 ppm a day. Looks like I need to reduce that to 2.5 ppm a day, and then maybe skip every other day as well, and then resume alkalinity testing every day or every other day. I used to test alk every day, and I've been slacking, testing once a week or every 2 weeks. So I'm going to start ramping up the alkalinity testing again, try to get the system balanced back out. I've been noticing a few issues with a few of the corals, and I believe that's because the alkalinity's been rising and the nitrates and phosphate levels have been rising as well. I do not have any algae in the tank. The glass is a little bit dirty, but the phosphates seem to be rising higher than my liking. Like today's test, my phosphate levels were 0.25, which is probably triple what I like to be at. I like to be between 0.03 and 0.08. To see 0.25 was a shocker. There is no algae in the tank, but I am going to hook up the GFO reactor. I need to calculate how much I need to add. It's probably like a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup or something like that. I got a little pump. Just gonna run it until I get those levels in check, and then I may turn it on and off temporarily. Just want to bring the levels down before algae starts to grow in the tank. As far as nitrates, I need to clean the skimmer and change the socks, change the little pad right here, maybe give the BioBrick a quick little dunk and some water, change water from the water I pull out of the tank, maybe clean it out a little bit, siphon out the sand bed or the sump. Detritus, try to reduce as much dissolved organics as possible. As you can see, I got some piping down here on the ground. That is going to be for the 15-gallon frag tank. If you guys have been following along, you guys know that the 25 lagoon I had planned on the other stand with this 15-gallon tank. 25-gallon lagoon was cracked up the back. I'm not going to use it. Going to be working on cutting the one panel off and replacing it with another panel from the other cracked lagoon tank. So look forward to seeing videos of that. If you want to see how to cut and reseal a tank, I'll try to make a long video or not so long video for you guys. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. But this is the X Aqua in-out overflow, as you guys know, and it has one of the hardest drain lines to find at the hardware store or the fish store. So it's 1.5 inch inside diameter drain line, but that is not the actual size. It's supposed to be these measurements right here. So I think it was supposed to be like 1.25 inch drain line. Well, I heated this flex line up and forced it on there, put some zip ties on there real tight, used some channel locks, and pulled the zip tie as tight as I could without snapping them. And the return line is supposed to be 0.6875 inside diameter. I went ahead and used a 1 inch or no 3/4 inch line, heated it up, stretched it around, worked out great. I do have some couplings on there for some hard plumbing. I did use the tape and not the paste. I've always used the tape and I've never had issues with it. A lot of people say don't use the tape. I haven't seen any ill effects. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm know it all or know everything. All this stuff you guys have probably already seen before. Don't do with what I do. I'm just sharing with you my journey on this go around of setups. In my reefing career, I've had probably 35 different setups, and this is just the way I'm doing it, and I just want to share it with you guys. If you guys know something I could be doing better, please let me know in the comments. My way is not, it's not the way you need to do it. So what I like to do is collect information from multiple sources, look at my system, compare all those bits and pieces of information to my system, and then come up with my own plan. And if I have to modify something or change something, then I will do it. So over here, moving on, I have a Varios 4 pump. My buddy hit me up. I reached out on the forum saying I was looking for a return pump. My buddy had one of those new Skims Italian motor pumps that BRS was selling for 50% off. He told me he had one for me. I went down there to check it out, and that thing was like quadruple the size of this Varios 4 pump. I couldn't believe how huge it was because the pictures make it look kind of small. Well, that thing was pretty badass. Let's just put it this way. The smallest one was pushing waves in his 500-gallon system, which was 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and like 30 inches tall. So, I mean, it was pushing waves from one end to the other, no problem. I told him, dude, that's way too big. This pump right here is way too big. Like I said, it's only going on a 15-gallon system. The reason why I got this one, I got him, he was digging around, he found this one, he gave it to me for a good price. I don't want to talk about how much I paid, but he gave it to me what he paid for it. And I was originally looking for a Varios 2 pump to match the one that I have in my current system. I was going to put them side by side, and I have about 15 feet I need to run across to the frag tank, and then about 3.5 feet up. So the Varios 4 pump, it is DC controllable. I do have a controller. I'm probably going to have it down on the lowest setting. I am going to put a union ball valve to maybe control the flow. I did have some lock line with the ball valve, but unfortunately that lock line will not work with the X Aqua in-out overflow, so without modification. So I'm going to go ahead and install a true union ball valve on the return line as well as the DC line. And I figure if I cut the power to the DC line, I could just turn the ball valve completely closed to prevent backflow. into the sump. I'm not a big fan of check valves. They always fail, or they will fail sooner or later if not maintained properly. And we all know over time who wants to keep pulling off a check valve to clean, blah blah blah. So got this Varios pump. It only came with a 1-inch coupler bar fitting on it, so I reduced it from 1 inch to 3/4 up to some hard plumbing here. I got a couple, got a little pad I cut. This is like an OXO rubber pad. I've used these on some tanks before. I had a big chunk of it that I just been cutting off. This one was cut in half. You just place it under the pump. I know the pump has these little rubber feet, but placing this pad underneath the pump will reduce vibration even further. I like to do these little slot faces up. This way you don't trap detritus underneath it. So you just set the pump on there like so, and voila. So I got a couple of ball valves. There's a controller for the Octo. These are not Spirit ball valves. These are true value ball valves. The only thing I don't like about these is the seals are not as good as the ones that you get at the fish store. So what I do is I like to coat these seals with some magic lube. It's like a fish pump lube that I had it here. Alright, you put it on the seals. I usually use it on all power heads. I think I got this from like CAD lights like maybe 5 years ago, but you can see it's almost empty. I use it on all unions, ball valves, and I've never had an issue. I use it on bulkheads, so it comes in handy, makes it easier to release. Got some fittings here for the drain line. Like I said, the drain line is 1.5 inches. I wanted to get a gate valve, but like I said, even the local fish stores don't carry gate valves, so you have to order one. So I picked this up temporarily. I might just go with this. I mean, it's just control the drain, the rate of drain on the drain line, and maybe shut it off when doing water changes, prevent backflow, blah blah blah. But over here in this bag, I just went in my fish junk shed and pulled out some line. This is going to be used for the GFO reactor, and so that's what I'm doing today. I got some water mixing up there. I'm going to go ahead and up dose that to 9.0. It's some Aqua Accuracy 1 by Julian Sprung. Comes in pre-packaged bags. One bag will make 4.5 gallons, mixed at 1.026. Mix alkalinity at 8.0. So I'm going to go ahead and bump that up with some B-Ionic. Dose it up to 9.0. I believe 5 milliliters will bump that up to about 8.5. So I'm going to do 10 milliliters. Should bump it up to 9.0. I'll check it. And before I do a water change, I also am going to use the water change water that I pull out of the tank to rinse this out, and I'm going to include it in the sump over there. So I got a lot of things going on. I got add another bio brick. The reason why is this thing has 5,750 feet squared surface area. So I'm not going to be having live rock in the frag system, so I feel like this will increase the the bio load for the added water and system in the 25-gallon lagoon. So I'm gonna rinse that with the water change water, get it installed. I'm probably gonna have to move the other bio brick behind the skimmer along with this one. I am gonna raise the water level in the sump, so I'm gonna have to put the gate back on, reroute. Let's go look at it. Showing you a blank table. Gonna have to reroute these two lines here are for the UV sterilizer. Just gonna have to reroute those, put the gate back in, raise the water level in the sump, to its bare minimum with the gate on. This way the added 15-gallon water system will have a little bit more volume. The socks will be able to come back up to actual operating level, and I probably will put the skimmer on top of the 2 bio bricks to get it at the same height that it is now. That's the reason why I took the gate off, is for the skimmer to operate at the level that it wants to operate. Blah 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 blah. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get started trying to run this piping straight across. Gonna put union ball valves, a couple unions. I'm gonna probably take out this brick, put it behind the skimmer, put the other pump in right next to the Varios 2 pump. Looks like there's just enough room for it to fit in there. We're gonna pipe it out the back coming up and go straight across to the frag tank. I would love to put it right here, but unfortunately it'll stick past this wall by about 6-8 inches. So over there it is. It is what it is. I don't have a problem plumbing it. That's all it is, just running piping to it. So tank's looking all right. Like I said, I need to get the phosphates and nitrates under control, maintain water parameters, alkalinity, temperature, blah blah blah. And I'm going to resume testing alkalinity every other day. Start testing more often like I used to. Try to get in control of this tank before it gets out of my control, as far as the phosphates and nitrates rising, imbalances in the system. So that's what's going on today. Just wanted to share a weekly update. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber and you want to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. To all the reefers on YouTube, what's up? I know a couple big names have been missing, MIA. Don't know where you guys are at. I hope everything's going all right with you guys. To the guys that are still sticking around there, hanging in there, hanging tough, making videos, putting out content, thank you. Appreciate watching and viewing. Thanks for sharing. And that's about it. So Varios for return, new bio brick, frag tanks getting plumbed today, making water for a water change. Just finished testing. Let's go over the testing numbers real fast. Let's see, magnesium 1360. I had 4 ppm plus of nitrates, 0.25 phosphates. Alkalinity was 9.2. Salinity was 1.025. Temp was 78.7. Calcium was 442. And that's it. That's the only thing I tested for. I'm not dosing like potassium or anything like that, or so I don't test for any of that crap. So thanks for watching again. Sorry if I rambled on another extra couple minutes, but hope you guys like the intro. It's just me and my son having a great time, and just wanted to share with you guys and have it here on my channel to where if something happens to me, they can go back and check it out and hear my voice or whatever. So thanks again, guys, and I'm gonna get going, and I'll try to make another video midweek or next week as things progress. Today I'm just going to be plumbing the tank. I'm not going to be getting it wet, just getting everything installed and ready for water. So thanks again, guys, for the 15th time, and hope you guys have a good work week coming up and a great rest of your weekend. Go Chargers, I guess. Thanks, guys. Wait.